So today we're going to be looking at 7 fragrances that were built, designed, and engineered for a night out situation. So of course I can't say that for certain, right? I can't say that the perfumers and the creative directors behind each of these fragrances all had the idea of an evening out scenario in mind when creating these, but I know for me, when I smelled them for the first time, that's kind of what I thought of. You'll see that for the first 5, the bottles all have a very similar look to them, which kind of alludes to an evening out, classy, potentially date night look, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I'm coming up, like back to back. The first 5 all share similarities, and I didn't even mean for that to happen. I wasn't even looking at the bottles necessarily when thinking of planning this video. But not only that, the smells of these are warmer, sweeter, richer, and ultimately have this kind of night out, sexy, mysterious, classy type of smell, which I think they just crush it in that type of scenario. And on top of that, really good for wintertime nights out. 7 fragrances, all designers. They will all be linked up down below to discounters, so you can buy them at a price that is not retail. Hopefully, I think there may be one in here that is sold out on discounters pretty much everywhere, and in that case, it will be retail, but a lot of times the retail price is about the same as the discounted price anyway, so it doesn't matter, and we'll cover that when we get there. But we just need to start running through this here. Let's get ready for our date night. We're going to start with Paco Rabanne Invictus Victory. This one's got vanilla, tonka bean, pink pepper, amber. So an Invictus flanker, but watch. Man, that's good. See that reaction? That's real. That's genuine. That is not a fabricated reaction. In fact, I wish I would have waited to spray this. I actually sprayed this off camera before starting, and my reaction was even better because it had been a while since I smelled it before a second ago. So this time around, I know what to expect. But, you know, it's a really, really good flanker. And aside from Invictus Aqua 2016, this is my favorite Invictus flanker. And in a way, Invictus Aqua, you know, they're still pretty similar with aquatic nuances here and there. I just think what they did with the 2016 was fantastic, and what they did with the 2018 was just kind of, I don't know, it was a little bit not up to my standards. But in terms of an Invictus flanker that's a little bit different compared to the original, this one here does offer that, and probably strays the furthest away from the original Invictus out of all of the other flankers, and that's kind of another reason why it's my favorite. It's vanillic, smooth, spicy, sweet, creamy, powdery, and dusty from like this benzoin effect in here. This is impressive stuff. If you are someone who has written off the Invictus line, you refuse to touch it and to try anything after trying the original and hating it, I encourage you, if you're into sweeter fragrances and you want something for an evening out, nighttime scenario, check out Victory. This really does not smell like it's a part of the Invictus line. It really doesn't. They could have bottled this separately, and I think they would have been better off doing that because a lot of people are going to pass this up just because it's Invictus flanker. Don't do that. Give it a shot. And also, this is the 150 ml bottle. It's a little bit strange looking. It's just elongated, obviously. I think the 100 mils look better, but this made the most sense price per milliliter wise. Just, you know, a little bit silly looking. So next up, NUIT POLARIS by Issey Miyake. So this one is one that's also kind of been in stock, out of stock. Currently, at the time of me shooting this, it is available on discounter, so you can get it. Vanilla, leather, balsam, another resinous, smoky, spicy fragrance. Wow. I mean, it has literal smoke, like actual smoke smell. Here's the thing with this, and this is going to sound off-putting to some people, so I want to represent this in the best way possible. It actually smells like smoke in the air, so I want you to be aware of that. Not quite cigarette smoke, but almost realistic like cigarette smoke, if that makes sense. It smells like there is an actual fire burning and you're downwind and just catching the smoke smell, right? That's what this smells like. And it's another thing where the more I smell it, the more I pick up on that, and I'm seriously impressed. I mean, it is so realistic. Probably one of the closest smoky, almost campfire smelling fragrances that I own. This right here would be just the best choice possible if you're going to like a bonfire, especially in like fall time. You know, it's all about cookouts, fires, all of that type of fun stuff, although in summertime as well. If you wear this, you will be the most appropriate, best smelling person at that fire, at that bonfire, that party, that outdoor event, whatever. If you're cooking on the grill or going to an event where people are grilling out, it has that smokiness. You will fit the part, and people will think you are on fire, literally, because you're going to smell so good. This stuff is incredible. Designer level, not even, more like niche level. Seriously, amazing stuff. Only about 70 bucks, 100 mil. Check this one out. If this isn't for a nighttime, evening out scenario, I don't know what is. The smoke in here, let's do it one more time. I'm actually captivated. That smoky note, that's something that is very impressive. Next up, UOMO Absolute by, of course, everyone's favorite, UOMO. Incense, pepper, tonka bean, ylang ylang. So this one is a little bit more expensive in terms of UOMO fragrances on discounters. I believe I'm seeing this one around 47 for 100 mil, which isn't terribly expensive, but again, in comparison, it is a little bit more on the pricier side. I do want to show you one thing. They did go ahead and upgrade the cap. So this does have a snap-on cap, whereas if you take a look at something like UOMO Eau de Parfum, it's just a press fit. Also, the bottles are a little bit different here in comparison. UOMO Wild, let me check that. Okay, yeah, UOMO Wild also has the press fit and the old style bottle. So you get upgraded presentation. Really, really nice, sleek look here. The yellow UOMO Absolute stands out. While the yellow accenting here doesn't do the scent justice, the coloration of the bottle definitely does. And if you can tell what I was referencing in the beginning, the trend you're seeing here, these blacked out, sleek looking bottles, they're nighttime fragrances. I mean, if I can't convince you of that, I don't know what else will, unless you just really look at that bottle and think that that's all that matters. It's smoky, peppery, a little bit dry, but it has this slight fresh balance from the ylang ylang. It's impressive. Now, a lot of times, you know, when I mention UOMO, people run the other direction, and I understand that. You go to something like UOMO Eau de Parfum, which I just reviewed, first impressions. It's a syrupy concoction, basically. Didn't want to say syrupy mess, but it is a syrupy fragrance. Cough syrup, like one of the most syrupy sweet fragrances that I own, right? It's even a bit too much for me. UOMO Wild, I think is criminally underrated. That one's sold out now. But this one's not quite to that level, but still very good. But this one's the furthest away from UOMO. So this kind of separates itself. This is another one where I almost think they could have separated this from the UOMO line, and it would have lived and probably done better, seriously. Same like we were talking about with INVICTUS Victory. And so it makes you think, well, why don't they do that? And the answer is pretty obvious to me. One of the best, most popular fragrance lines, also a very, very popular fragrance line. UOMO, the original $20 fragrance, it's everywhere. They can ride off the tail of those fragrance lines. And so from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense. But from a fragrance collector not wanting to buy it because it's a fragrance line that they don't like, people miss out on it. Alrighty, let's go to Valentino UOMO Intense. This one's got iris, vanilla, and leather. Beautiful scent. For me, it's one that at first I was like, why do I need it? I've got Dior Homme Intense. I've got Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum. Why do I need another sweet iris fragrance? I tested it more, started to realize that there are nuances about this one that I like over the Givenchy and that I like over the Dior. But that also means that there are nuances about the Dior that I prefer and about the Givenchy Gentleman EDP that I prefer. Each one is in their own little category, in their own little subset. Even though they all share a similar base, they all branch off and do different things. Gentleman being the easiest and most mass-pleasing one of them all, like the most dumbed down one. This being in the middle, the Dior being on the other end there. Depends on what I'm into, what mood I'm feeling, and kind of just how mainstream I want to go with it. But there's also other differences as well in terms of the scent. This one has a little bit more of a vanilla leather richness going on. Of course, you still get a lot of the iris, but it's just a different take on it. So, Valentino UOMO, the original, is one that I really, really like a ton. That one's got coffee, it's got leather, it's got hazelnut. It's a beauty of a scent, and that's where it's all started. And in some instances, I will say, sometimes I prefer the smell of the original over the intense, depending on what I'm into. The main problem with the original, as you can probably guess here, is the performance is not going to hold up to the intense. So I think all things considered, the intense would probably be overall the most polished, best bet for a night out, just all things considered here. And you also have to pay up for this one. Same with the original UOMO. This is the one I was talking about in the beginning, not on discounters at the time of me shooting this. Maybe it'll be back in stock, and if it is, it will be linked up down below. It's in and out of stock all the time. Hot stuff. So I will link it up to a retailer if it's not on discounters. And like I said, sometimes these actually go over retail price on discounters when they get them in stock. So you're not saving a whole lot of money anyway. If you're wanting this one, you know, just go ahead and get it. It's really not worth waiting around for who knows how long for to hit discounters when you may be losing money by buying it from there or only saving maybe $5 or something. So that's going to be up to you, but for me, it's a beauty of a scent. And the last bottle to finish this trend of blacked out, sleek looking evening out bottles is Ferragamo UOMO Signature. Tonka bean, leather, and coffee. Another one that is now in stock. Yet again on discounters, in and out. The whole supply chain is messed up, but I'm so glad it's back because I can talk about it now. So with this one, discounted price versus retail price usually is more of a significant difference, you know, and I try to hold off on fragrances that you can get for, you know, sometimes a lot less. I won't talk about them if they're not in stock. With the Valentino, you're really not saving anything, doesn't matter too much. This one is back at about $59, so not as affordable as it much was. That's how it is with everything. Prices on everything are going up. It's just crazy. Supply chain issues, like I said, that's just kind of how the outlook is going to be for the time being, I suppose. I don't know when that'll change. But this one I do still think is worth the $60 basically for 100 mil. It's great stuff. Super strong performer, fun and playful, nice evening out scent. What I like about this one compared to the original is the leather and coffee gives it more of a balance. Instead of just being super sweet, tiramisu, gourmand heavy, there's balance here with those notes that I just listed off, kind of giving it almost a little bit more of a masculine, slightly rugged and refined feel. So if the sweetness of the original is too much for you, this one kind of steers that in a different direction, and I think it is perfect for an evening out. Next up, we have 1 Million Lucky by Paco Rabanne. So that's the second Paco fragrance to make it in this list. Hazelnut, honey, plum, ozonic notes are a few of the main notes. I believe I was saying, what was I saying last? Aldehydes or something when I was talking about this one last, but it is ozonic notes. But you really do pick up on that, and it's weird because you see the plum, the hazelnut, the woods, the honey, and so you're thinking very sweet, but it has this light, wispy, airy lightness about it. Lightness. It's weird. It's more of a texture thing. You got to smell this one to fully understand it because you get the sweetness, you get the hazelnut in here, the woods, all of that stuff. But it's kind of just bubbly and refreshing in a way. It's quite a unique scent for what it's worth here. This one has been rumored to potentially be getting the discontinuation because they're trying to make room for 1 Million Elixir, and it kind of makes sense that they would be going after this one next because it is, aside from the original, going to be one of the older flankers currently that's still out. Privé is gone, 1 Million Cologne is gone. Right now, the newest one is the Parfum. They're not going to kill that one off yet. Elixir's coming up. And so I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not confirming it or denying it. But the 100 mils of these did just sell out on discounters. I will link it up down below for you to get the 50 mils for a really solid price. Who knows what's going to happen? If it gets discontinued, the prices are going to go nuts on this one. This is a very coveted fragrance by a lot of you guys. So I just want to give you a heads up to maybe start thinking about getting prepared to purchase a backup bottle if it is one that you like. And to finish this video off, we have Versace Eros Parfum. I just had to do it. Mint, apple, vanilla. Man, I love it. Brings me back to just the original Eros, really. It's got the magic of the original Eros that has been lost over the years, and that's something I think a lot of us can agree with. Has that strength, has that fun, minty, fresh, sweet pop, a whole bunch going on at once. And again, I will reiterate this, it has that strength. That's one of the main reasons people loved Eros so much, and they took that one thing away. They reformulated it over the years, and so now that you can get that back and get this one on discounters for about $89 is what it's going for, 100 mil. That's a good price. It retails for $140 for the same bottle size. And again, fragrances are getting more and more expensive, even at retail price. $140 for a designer. It is a parfum, but still, prices are going crazy. The new Gucci Guilty parfum is going for like $155 or something for a 3-ounce bottle. Everything is just expensive. So to get this one for $89, that's a really, really solid price, and it's worth every penny. It's going to last on your skin all day. It's going to get you amazing compliments. It's going to be a fantastic night out scent, especially for the younger guys. Don't sleep on this one. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. That is 7 fragrances that are built for a night out. If you're looking to add some to your collection for evenings out, whether it be date, parties, all of that, whatever it may be, these are going to be for you. Now, for date situations, I would just limit your sprays. All you got to do. Don't go heavy on them. Valentino UOMO Intense, great date night fragrance. You know, when you're taking a look at, something like Eros Parfum, if you wanted to wear this on a date, which I still think you can, limit your sprays and spray underneath your shirt, right? Take your bottle, shove it up under here, 1 or 2 sprays, that's it. That's all. Because the shirt, especially if it's in wintertime and you're layered up anyway, it'll muffle it, kind of act as a baffle. It'll cut back on that projection, and it actually kind of smooths the scent out, makes it a little bit less harsh. So that's kind of how you can do a little trick to actually dumb down the strength of some of these. You know, even same with, I guess, the Yope. Smoky, spicy, very strong. Under the shirt, works a lot better. And of course, for night out situations where you want to be smelled, spray on your skin that's exposed, and these are going to do crazy good for you. I will link them up down below. Like I said, a couple key ones to look out for. 1 Million Lucky, maybe start considering this one. That's really about it. The Polaris, I just found out, came back in stock, so I was excited to be able to feature this one. May go out of stock again soon. That one's always in and out, so something to think about. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.